20-year-old COVID-19 positive women from the Konung Mamang Purayombalaikai died at her residence this afternoon. COVID-19 death toll rises to 7 in Manipur. Extended 7 days total lockdown across the state continues in full swing on the third day. Roads bore deserted look as people respond to the lockdown. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet likely to expand in the first half of August. Recently elected Rajya Sabha MP Shambandura are among the strong contenders. And India reports 54,735 new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours. That toll reaches 37,364. A very good evening to you all. I'm KANEL SHAMBANDURAM presenting you the Sunday Primetime English Bulletin. Now let's begin our bulletin with top stories of today. Manipur reported its 7th COVID-19 death today. The 20-year-old woman from the Konung Mamang Purayombalaikai in Imphal East district passed away at her residence around 1 p.m. today. According to Impact News sources, the woman was paralyzed for the past few years. Upon getting the news of the unfortunate incident, local club members asked to get test for COVID-19 and later she was confirmed positive for COVID-19 after getting through COVID-19 rapid antigen test. A telephonic conversation between Impact News and Imphal East District CMO Dr. Lorembam Indrani.
Tahi kun suraba kunung mamang Purayombalaikai paralysis tawraga tahi tara hena paralysis tawraga lei bangang ne bed de noina lei bangang ne ado ma singa sise ma pung amagi duda ma sikana tawre lei hidre ado ma yumda dum famung duda dum ma se bed de noina lei banina atai thodopa hen ba kasu problem atai de thoina lei ti hai ma family member na hai bada ado daida akoina lekai gi bole club ki meeting na kana tok na ha pau pira ko de koina covid test singa si taw eba rapid antigen da magi status positive na phange ngarang maktada magi grandfather su kana taw na positive na phakena phangi dana ma se chakti karang da magi hometown da ngarang se poloi na bapu ki bai tare ada hauji hauji to na koi se director te pau ki jara ba dc gi site so kai formalities kai fill up tona na ba kai tawri magi immediate family se Masi akoina CC Higher Secondary School da temple long na bangasi moi lo na pukale adago moi gi result hi heng khangani
ni kya mo pukat
tara mo olongani moi family ado anak ko lai ba moi in direct contact.
Extended total lockdown and curfew for another week, which begins on the 31st of July in a bid to contain the spread of coronavirus, has affected normal life in the state. Roads in Imphal city bore a deserted look as people responded to the lockdown. Vehicular traffic on the road was nilled and only few vehicles were seen plying on the streets for emergency and essential services. Shops in Imphal city remain closed except for some medical stores and pharmacies. Police patrol units are being stationed at strategic locations in the city to give a strict results to prevent any untoward incidents. Police as well as local club members have advised people to stay indoor. Meanwhile, streets in some localities are still blocked as locals have piled up logs, preventing movement of people and vehicles in their efforts to ward off COVID-19. The statewide lockdown will end on 6th of August. According to official report, confirmed cases in the state has reached 2,756, out of which 1,051 are active cases. Total death from COVID-19 in Manipur is 7, while recovery rates in the state is 61.66%. Thoubal district entered total lockdown for 21 straight days today in a bid to contain the spread of coronavirus. Residents of the district are facing inconveniences in getting daily essential items. Commodities are no longer available at shops and vendors at Thoubal, as Thoubal market located at the district headquarters remained shut down. Waste materials are still piled up at Thoubal market. Ukhrul District SP Rongam Ningshen said people of the district have been cooperating with district police during the 14th-day lockdown implemented by Manipur government to contain COVID-19. Stating that people are more aware about the current lockdown, he said that they are extending all support to the security forces. He asserted that roads bore deserted look except for some essential and emergency services plying on the road. SP Rongam said the police personnel are giving all-out efforts to avoid community transmission in the district too. He said agricultural works are still continued, though business centers and shops remained closed. Meanwhile, the Tangkhul Committee for COVID, TCFC and Hunfund Ukhrul COVID Committee have also been taking major roles in carrying out awareness regarding COVID-19 to the public. Old Manipur Youth Protection Committee said the inconveniences facing our state during the COVID-19 pandemic is due to dependency of the food supply and economy on other. Mentioning that our state was once a self-reliant one, the committee in a press release highlighted the plight facing the people during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Speaker of Manipur Legislative Assembly, Yumnam Khemchand, appealed people to take befitted roles in fighting against COVID-19 instead of merely relying on the government. He was speaking to media at closing event of the Community Quarantine Center of Singjamai Assembly Constituency opened at Manipur College today. The first ever quarantine center of Manipur was opened on May 3 and altogether 316 inmates including 21 inmates from the 8 other constituencies stayed in the center. Speaking to media, Yumnam Khemchand expressed happiness that every inmates who stayed at the center were tested negative for COVID-19. The speaker also handed over discharge certificates to the inmates of the center on the occasion. One female inmate from the Wangkhem Assembly constituency extended monetary aid to the speaker as a form of gratitude for the 14th-day hospitable stay at the center.
Government community transfer to high risk COVID-19 community transfer to Adorgadi, I couldn't see commander Sarkar itself. Sarkar they are responsible. I could someone of the right in the virus like a fullness of the numbers of the I get to take a life. I see anytime positive for PI, but the way the section around and we don't hide the lesson. Benching people from India, the maintain the
Kontha Ahalup Mayai Laikai and the Haingang police station has been declared as a COVID-19 containment zone. In Phal West District, Superintendent of Police Jogesh Chandra Haubujam has appointed officer in charge of Haingang police station, Inspector K.H. Pathau Maite, as the security in charge. He has also instructed and Suraj Singh MPS to supervise the security arrangement and to make sure people in the containment zone follow the standard operating protocol issued by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Ethno Heritage Council, Haricon, in a press release condemned the government for failing to look into use of intoxicants by the people amid the pandemic, even after an order was released imposing ban on use of intoxicants in public. The press release further condemned the government for failing to punish drug peddlers. Ningol Club Hairog has urged the state government to hand over the drug trafficking case of Lukhozai Jau to the CBI at the earliest. Speaking to media, Ningol Club Secretary General Yaipabi Ningthaujam said that Ningol Club has launched a poster campaign against drug abuse and trafficking under the initiative of KADA from today. She urged the state government to initiate necessary actions to curb drug abuse among youths. She also appeals to make a proper use of the fast-track court. Well, now it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring you news on the Union Home Minister Amit Saha tested positive for COVID-19. We will be back with details after the break. Until then, keep watching Impact News.
Northeast India ki ahan boy na IGS Infra Solutions Private Limited na Manipur International Airport ki VIP Loans Manipur State Rural Livelihood Mission Imphal East Kairau Bitra Tanix Tata Motors ta amuk kapthok pada tha ahum ngakthok pangamba COVID code ki pambai pisakre aduda sunatana tha mari thingsiluraba maming lairaba Jaipur Club amadi UP ki State Road Transport Corporation ki bus station ani da su kapthok tuna amuk hanna hangdok hankiba laikre akupa marol ki damak IGS Infra Solutions MM Manson Naurem Thong contact number 9862104214.
Banthobi Group of Companies presents Banthobi Housing Finance Company Limited, regulated by National Housing Bank, wholly owned by Reserve Bank of India, provide subsidized home loan under PMAY-CLS Housing for All by 2022 mission. Banthobi Microfin deals with microfinance activities only. Banthobi Nidhi Limited provides loan against fixed deposit, loan against property, etc. Banthobi Constructions Private Limited facilities. Booking started for real estate residential projects of flats, villas or row houses, etc. For more details, kindly contact Banthobi Housing Finance Company Limited and its subsidiary group of companies or report Rangbam Leitlai Imphal.
Ichabu mahitam hanba haibasi mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudolni. Slopland Public School, biggest and the finest residential school, Manipur gi oina lemjuningai oiraba, mahei tampam ama oiriba, khwaidigi chunaraba mafamda semgatlaba, CBSE the affiliate toba higher secondary school oiri. Icha singbu admission tawidana mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudol oibiu, ichagi phazabalam chat sajati ahombadu ubiu, Slopland Public School Khongjom.
Andro AC की सोशल वर्कर ओइबग लोइनना AC असगी कांग्रेस लुचिंगबा ओइबता नतना यूनाइटेड एनजीओस फोरम मणिपुर की चेयरमैन ओइरिबा कैसाम निंगथेम जाउना अंद्रो AC की मियाम की थबक थोरम कयादा मतेंग पांगबिबा स्फ्रूटी स्कीम की मखादा अहानबा इंस्टॉलमेंट ओइना लुपा लिसिंग यांखै पिबिबा लोइनना कोविड-19 न मरम ओइरगा लॉकडाउन लैरिङै मनुंगदा युमदा लैना लैना सेंदान लंबी पिबिबगिदमक कैसाम निंगथेम जाउबु ताइबंग मपुना याइफबा माइपाकपा ओहेन बिष्णु हाइना हाइजरिबा इंगा लैमतो कुथबि नुपिलो
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Sunday Primetime English Bulletin. Union Home Minister Amit Shah tested positive for COVID-19 on Sunday. He informed in a tweet his health is reportedly to be fine, but he is admitted to a hospital on the advice of doctors. He requested all those who have come in contact with him in the last few days to isolate themselves and get inquiries done. India has reported 54,735 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. That toll has reached 37,364. As per the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, country's total confirmed cases have crossed 17.5 lakh, out of which about 5 lakh are active cases. Total recoveries from COVID-19 surpassed 11 lakh mark. A record of 51,255 recoveries from COVID-19 have been registered today in the country. This is the highest number of recoveries in a single day since the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Country's recovery rate stands at 65.43%. Meanwhile, the Indian Council of Medical Research said that a total of 4,63,172 tests were conducted by various laboratories within 24 hours. Globally, coronavirus has infected above 1,80 lakh people and more than 6,89,000 people have died. Recoveries are about 1,13 lakh. USA is on the top with more than 22 lakh active cases, and Brazil is at second place, while India is at third place in the world. Total active cases of COVID-19 in the northeast states, including Manipur, have crossed 15,000 mark in the last 24 hours. Assam's total confirmed COVID-19 cases have reached 40,200 mark, out of which 9,811 are active cases. Arunachal Pradesh confirmed COVID-19 cases are over 1,600, out of which 701 are active cases. Nagaland's confirmed cases are nearing 1,827, out of which 1,183 are active cases. There are 215 active cases of COVID-19 in Mizoram, 1,744 in Tripura, 380 in Sikkim, and 631 in Meghalaya. Uttar Pradesh Cabinet Minister Kamal Rani Varun died battling COVID-19 at the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences today. President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has expressed grief over the demise of Kamal Rani Varun. They expressed condolences to her family and supporters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet is likely to expand in the first half of August. 3 names from the northeast are doing round for the ministerial berth. According to a media report, Assam Health Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma, former Union Minister Angatha Shangma and Manipur's titular King Laishem Basanajauba are strong contenders for ministerial berths in the Modi cabinet. Their expansion is most likely to take place soon after the Bhumi Pujan for the construction of a Ram temple at Ayodhya. The Bhumi Pujan will be held on the 5th of August. The Modi government currently has 57 ministers. Several of the ministers have a number of portfolios. For one of the ministerial berths, Manipur's titular King Laishem Basanajauba, who won the lone seat of Rajya Sabha in Manipur on 22nd of June, is a strong contender, a BJP leader said. Sanajauba recently had a meeting with BJP top leader Amit Shah in the national capital. Meanwhile, Ram Madhav, the BJP General Secretary in charge of Northeast, may be removed from his organizational responsibilities in the region, said sources. Old Manipur VDF Welfare Association have called off their ongoing protest demanding increment of honorarium, service security and regularizations for the VDF personnel since 16th of July, owing to the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the state. Old Manipur VDF Welfare Association Central Committee also condemned the behavior meted out towards them by Imphal West District Police team during a relay hunger strike at Kwakait Hill Bazaar today. Jiribam District BDF Welfare Association urged the state governments to table their demand in the upcoming one-day cabinet meeting of the Manipur Legislative Assembly on 10th of August, failing which they warned that the VDF personnel will launch various intense agitations. VDF personnel staged a sit-in at Jiribam police station in Jiribam, Babupara today. Taking part in the protest, President of Jiribam District VDF Welfare Association, O. Bishamvor, appealed to provide befitting remuneration, service security and regularization for the BDF personnel and to release their 13th month pending salary. Kanglei Park Students Association KSA has welcomed the new National Education Policy 2020 approved by the Union Cabinet, which is based on the foundational pillar: access, affordability, equity, quality and accountability. Well, that is all we have in this bulletin, but before we wind up, let's take a glimpse at the headlines once again. 20-year-old COVID-19 positive woman from Konung Mamang Purayomba Laikai died at her residence this afternoon. COVID-19 death toll reaches to 7th in Manipur. Extended 7 days total lockdown across the state continues in full swing on the 3rd day. Roads got deserted look as people respond to the lockdown. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet likely to expand in the first half of August. Recently elected Rajya Sabha MP Laishem Basanajauba are among strong contenders. And India reports 54,735 new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours. That toll reaches 37,364. Well, thank you very much for being with us. In the meantime, for more news and information, please do not hesitate to follow Impact TV on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Until then, have a great Sunday evening and stay safe.
virus